American supercarriers are the face of the U.S. Navy and have enabled powered projection far off from the U.S. homeland. Nimitz-class carriers, which form the backbone of U.S. carrier fleet, as well as the new Ford-class carriers, are the biggest warships to roam the oceans, displacing around 100,000 tons of water. The U.S. is the only nation to operate so many supercarriers since they're very costly to build and operate. American supercarriers are not only an important military platform, but are home to thousands of sailors, making them a vital asset for the nation. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why American supercarriers are almost unsinkable. Let's get started. China and Russia, America's main rivals, don't have resources to build so many supercarriers, so they are investing in asymmetric capabilities to neutralize American supercarriers. Anti-surface warfare has come a long way in the last decade with the development of supersonic and hypersonic anti-ship missiles. Supersonic missiles like Indo-Russian BrahMos, hypersonic cruise missiles like Kinzhal, and Chinese anti-ship ballistic missile like DF-21D pose a genuine challenge to the supercarriers. Last year, even a direct verbal threat against American supercarrier was directed from China. On December 20th, a high-profile Chinese military commentator, Rear Admiral Lu Yuan, during his speech in 2018 Military Industry List Summit, told that disputes over ownership of the East and South China Seas could be resolved by sinking two U.S. supercarriers. As reported by Taiwan's Central News Agency, he stated that China's latest crop of anti-ship ballistic and cruise missiles were capable of sinking American supercarriers, and fear of casualty will frighten America. He said that the loss of one supercarrier would cost the U.S. the lives of 5,000 servicemen and women. Sinking two would double that toll. Admiral Lu added, "What the United States fears the most is taking casualties. We'll see how frightened America is." When the U.S. Navy started to envision the Ford class, it wanted to have data that could provide the real-life impact of weapons attack on a supercarrier. Till then, supercarriers were designed mainly with simulated data based on the sinking of older, smaller aircraft carriers and surface combatants. But obviously, they were no match to the structure and design aspects of a supercarrier. The issue was that no American supercarrier has been sunk in recent time, and we would have to go back to World War II for this, when Japan sank U.S. carriers. After due deliberation to mitigate this issue, the U.S. Navy decided to use USS America CV-66 as a test bed instead of scrapping it. USS America was a Kitty Hawk-class aircraft carrier and displaced more than 80,000 tons when fully loaded. It was built by Newport News Shipbuilding and commissioned on the 23rd of January, 1965. On April 19, 2005, USS America was towed to an undisclosed location off the Virginia coast. Then it was attacked with various types of weapons that resulted in numerous explosions above and below the waterline. But USS America didn't sink even after repeated onslaught of 4 weeks. Finally, after the failed attempt to sink it, the supercarrier was scuttled, and on May 14, 2005, it finally went down. The main reason attributed to this is that these supercarriers are designed to have hundreds of watertight compartments. This prevents water flow into other portions of the carrier and stops the vessel from going down. It also must be noted that American supercarriers have very strong Kevlar armor protection in sensitive parts and hence are hard to penetrate. The results of the exercise remain classified. Also, there's very few pictures or videos of this event in the public domain to keep things under wraps. But it's clearly understood that American supercarriers can absorb a lot of beating and can stay afloat even when it's sustained heavy damage. It must be noted that in a battle scenario, these supercarriers won't be in this kind of helpless position. Though these carriers are massive, powered by their nuclear reactors, they can move at 35 miles or 56 kilometers per hour. This means they're fast enough to outrun modern submarines, as well as many types of destroyers and cruisers. In an open ocean, a carrier is not easy to detect or track. In 30 minutes after a sighting by an opponent, the area within which a carrier might be operating will expand to 900 square miles, and this will increase to 4,000 square miles after 60 minutes. Also, a supercarrier in battle will not be defenseless like in the test. Nimitz as well as Ford-class carriers have powerful sensors for 360-degree coverage of the space around them, as well as have a host of defensive weapons to neutralize different types of threats. This includes 16 to 24 Wyrm 7 Sea Sparrow missiles and 3 to 4 Phalanx close-in weapon system. Also, the carrier air wing of 60-plus aircraft includes a squadron of early warning radar planes. These fly well ahead of the aircraft carrier and keep scanning vast areas for potential perils. The aircraft carrier also has helicopters equipped with anti-submarine, anti-surface, and counter-mine warfare weapons. Notably, American carriers do not operate alone but are deployed as part of a carrier strike group. The carrier strike group consists of multiple Ticonderoga-class cruiser and Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, as well as Virginia-class attack submarines. These vessels can intercept incoming missiles and torpedoes, and in case of eventuality, can act as a shield for the supercarrier by coming in between missiles or torpedoes and the supercarriers. The Virginia-class submarines can defeat enemy submarines as well as clear sea mines. Viewers must note that Nimitz-class is far more advanced than Kitty Hawk-class, and Ford-class has been designed considering the lessons learned from the exercise. Keeping in view all the aspects, it can be stated that American supercarriers are a very hard nut to crack and are almost unsinkable. They could probably be only taken out with nukes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.